And with that, I believe we're live. Welcome everybody. So as you can, I'm sure you can tell, you are not looking at me. You are looking directly at my workbench tonight because it is a live build night. We're going to be at the workbench doing work. This is actually kind of the angle I've been playing with for our upcoming videos as well. So let me know what you think in the chat. And so happy to see everybody here. This is going to be a real fun stream. I'll let you guys in on a little secret. I have been busy today. You can see I've got this here Hylian shield that I have been pounding out as a small commission on the side based on my old templates. So speaking of which, if you yourself would like to pick one of these up for yourself, I paint them up pretty much any scheme you can ask for. And I let them go for a steal over on my Etsy. But that is the kind of work I've been doing today, a little bit of that. And just to show you all that I'm not so one note, sometimes I'm not working with EVA foam, I'm working with insulation foam. I've been working on a small terrain commission for a buddy of mine. So this is some small plateaus for D&D, as well as this fun little pond with some rock in the middle of it. So this is kind of what I've been doing today. I hope everybody's having a good time. I sure have. It's been a fun day, frankly. But let's set aside the D&D terrain, because I know what you all came for. You all came for the Clone Wars. Now, I will tell you right off the bat that initially my plan was to take my head form over here, and I have this big old tub of monster clay that I was hoping to use tonight to maybe do a little bit. I'm starting with the bucket, but I'm debating doing the armor. The thing is, the armor's not quite as stylized as the bucket is. The bucket is super stylized. So, you know, to some degree, doing the armor is a little redundant. Although I have been working on some Phase 1 armor, so, you know, we'll see. But like I was saying, my original plan was actually to go through it and just maybe try my hand at sculpting this. But then I put this in my oven for like 45 minutes, and it is still pretty rock solid. So we're going to go back to the tried and true duct tape and foil method. I thought about doing a Fordo. I like his blasters a lot more than some of the other Clone Wars doodly dudes. So we are going to be sort of working our way through some reference images here. Let me see. I've got I had them right here. Where'd they go? Clone Wars 2003. There we go. Now I got some references up on my screen here. We can get to town. The thing that's really fun for me about these particular buckets isn't really the fact that, you know, they're Phase 1, they just look really bananas. It's that there's a lot of variation in them, so there's definitely room for me to sort of impart an artistic style. Now, I do think that my head form's actually going to be super useful here in a way that it isn't always. This head form's a little thin for my head, and he's also got kind of a cocked tilt to him, so that I, you know, if I'm sculpting on his face, I can really see the face. But of course, that means that the neck's kind of in a weird angle for making a helmet. But in this particular instance, the helmets are so high up in the back, as well as so particularly elongated in the front. I think this is going to really help us. But to start, what we're going to do is we're definitely going to sort of block out the sockets of the eyes and sort of round over the nose, so we've got sort of a blank face to start with. So let's just crumple up sort of a ball, jam that in the eye socket like that, take a little bit of masking tape, and just pin that sucker down. It's a very exciting process, I know. But this is kind of the real live build stuff where we're just kind of going. It's one of my favorite parts of the process is the time when you're just sort of doing. Because there is an element of some of these builds where I'm basically planning out for so long that there's no guesswork once I reach the end of it. There's no more discovery. It's really just I wanted to do the thing, so I did the thing, and everybody was happy. Which, you know, it's fun. It's fun, but sometimes it's fun to kind of start a build and not really know where you're going with it. To wit, let's just cram a big foil mustache on this dude. You know, I thought about naming my head form some time ago. Maybe that's I should ask. Anybody got any good names for this head form? My head form. He has no particular scars. He is a man of no particular skill. A mustachioed man. There we go. See how we're already sort of sloping off the face here. Just getting rid of most of that shape. I'm going to double, go over again, and we're going to start rounding over and under the jaw here. You know, to some degree, this is what I was going to have to do anyways before just starting to sculpt, because of course, you know, you don't want to waste all your time just packing clay on. You actually want to get a solid base to this thing to sit on. Let's just really tack it down. Hello, Daniel! We are currently suffocating my as yet unnamed mannequin head in the name of trying to turn him into a Phase 1 clone trooper from 2003, the Gendy Clone Wars. And I am just so excited about it. Now, in that same vein as sort of plugging the face here and trying to get rid of those shapes, we're also going to want to sort of even out the forehead here and press forward just a little. Yeah, there we go. Here we go. Thunder. What has everybody else been working on? It's been a busy week here in the shop. I was showing off various stuffs we've been working on. It's been very fun. I'm so excited. I'm actually gonna. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Sorry, everybody. Kicked up a little dust today. Yeah, the 2003 Clone Wars was great. I recently went through and watched it again because Disney re-added it to their sort of their streaming service there, and oh Lord, I love it. Okay, now we're cooking with gas. Pinning that all down. It's almost like I'm a real guy. The Gendy Tarkovsky series was very over the top compared to the 2008 series. Seriously, the numbers made the battles in the prequels look like a squirt gunfight. Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. I really loved how over the top Gendy's Star Wars was, though. I love that they made elements of what, you know, should have been very cool, especially for kids, look very cool. Which is, you know, arguably, I think, one of the biggest complaints about the prequels is they wound up being kind of boring. Because although, you know, Star Wars in the whole is very allegorical, it is still, you know, in many ways an action fantasy sequence, and that's part of the cool of it. And I would argue that the charm of the original trilogy did not lie in the density of the politics of the galaxy. And then ironically, the sequel trilogy just leaned really far away from it, but still like had plot points rely really heavily on it. It was weird. Oh, yeah, Grievous was also just the ultimate badass in the 2003 Clone Wars. It was better. It was better in that way. Okay. Okay, so now we've got sort of the front developing here. I am going to sort of go through and make a little ball at the base of the skull as well. So we start flattening this out, creating space for our clone trooper to blossom. And then in a moment here, I'm going to show you how the truly poor starts to sculpt with aluminum foil. Because, you know, sometimes you have a really grandiose idea. You want to make something really cool, but you have no money. What do? You bust out a whole roll of tin foil for like $3 and you go to town. Now, I also really loved that the 2003 Clone Wars, to me, for how short it was, really seemed to meaningfully link up with the Revenge of the Sith. You know, like you had the Battle of Coruscant, the whole run up to that. You had Grievous getting sort of crushed a little bit by Mace Windu, and that explains why he's coughing all the time in Revenge of the Sith. Whereas if you just watch Revenge of the Sith, it feels like Lucas introduced a really cool-looking villain and then was like, he's an old man. And yeah, you could say there's something to be said about a rug pull where he, you know, drops the cloak and is, you know, trained in those Jedi arts. But did we need a rug pull from a new villain in the third movie of a trilogy? Arguably the sixth movie of a saga? That's a weird choice, right? Am I crazy? I feel like I'm not. Okay, here we go. Now, that same thing, we're going to even this out again. The cool thing about these helmets, like I was saying before, is that they're actually very pointed. You know, the stylization really lends it to, it's got really intense chin. It's very, very drawn out. So I'm not super concerned about padding super far this way. I probably will still take a moment to pad it out that way a little. But I'm more concerned about evening these shapes. Like that. Ugh. I am curious though, is anybody working on anything? Anybody been up to anything? I've been trying to go all over the place. New templates in the Etsy store. Doing some commissions, you know. Gotta get it did. Gotta pay for a wedding somehow, right? My Patreon's down below. Oh, I got a haircut. I'm totally off camera, but I did get a haircut. So there is that. Ugh. Here we go. There we go. Alpha 17 style pauldron and or the comma. I don't know what that is. Hang on. I'm a fake fan. Oh, those really big, beefy. Oh, from when they were still like there were heavy clone troopers, heavy Phase 1 clone troopers. Yeah, that would be a pretty cool build. Start evening this out here. We got tin foil everywhere. Boop-a-doop-a-doop. There we go. Go ahead, tape that down. Oh my gosh. Whew. There's rows and rows of almost sneezes there. Alright, let's go ahead. We're just going to bust this out here. Bam. And crinkle, crinkle, crinkle. We make him a big ball. One spicy meat. Actually, hang on a second. Crinkle, crinkle. Help me, Obi-Wan. Oh god. So I don't know if anybody here is big into D&D at all, but I follow a dude named Puffin Forest on YouTube, who is hilarious. Really like his work. He does really fun skits and things about D&D, but he has one about trying to get his brother to play a Star Wars tabletop game with him. And it's just amazing. But he definitely refers to their Obi-Wan stand-in as Willy Wan, and it's hilarious, and it shouldn't work, but it does. But it really, really does. Right. Okay, let's go around this guy one more time. Woo! Everybody likes absurd. There we go. Oh yeah, now we've got a nice solid base to start with. You can actually kind of see where I'm already sort of intending the ear cups go. Yeah, this is going to be cool. Okay, let's start fleshing out some of the more detailed areas, because it may not look like it. Whoop. Because it may not look like it. But this thing is sort of kind of becoming a clone trooper. So now, here's what I'm thinking. So the clones have a very distinctive sort of chin in the Clone Wars. I would argue it's probably the most stylized portion of it, other than the fact that their ear cups are like a mile wide and there's a very distinct bend down here. But definitely that chin's really important. So here's my plan for that. I want to take about yay much of this. I'm going to fold this down. I'm going to fold this down again. And once more, we're going to double it up here. And back over again. Now my plan is to sort of start the band that goes all the way around, obviously, by taking a portion of this and just sort of tacking it on right here. I want to sort of start it at the right width. It's pretty thin. It's a pretty thin sort of rectangle right there. Now the real problem is we're going to be fighting proportion all the way around here, because I don't want to end up with something that's so demonstrably like tall that there's no way it could possibly look correct in the final version here. So let's start by just taping this up right here. Full disclosure, my best man's going to be stopping by, helping him get into med school. He's got all sorts of applications to do, and we do so dearly support him. There we go. There we go. Okay, yeah, it's basically a clone trooper already. Here, let me actually see if I can. I'm gonna tilt this up just a little bit. Whoop. Yeah. Okay. So it's basically already a clone trooper. See, we got the beard, the sort of beard to the edge there. There we go. And now I'm going to build this out by trying to build the tube that goes up and around. It's really stylized in the Gendy Star Wars. So this comes really far up and then really far across. And to get that artistic point across, we're going to be making some very structured rectangles by folding this over and over and over and over and over and over until we've got something. I would say this is reasonably strong. If we wanted to go a little further, I'd say we could probably double this up over and use it as sort of the skeleton bones of the point we're about to try and make. Okay, so let's define a lower edge here. Now, I love tinfoil for being so flexible, because if I want this to bend a little bit, I can just bend it over, mush it down, create that curve that I want. And it's a pretty subtle curve overall, so we're going to slowly kind of get it there. Go. I won't lie, I found some really interesting 3D interpretations of this. My initial thought was, you know, maybe somebody has already had the same love affair that I had. Maybe somebody else has already gone through and made a fun 3D interpretation of this. And I found some stuff, but it was all, it was all behind paywalls, and I don't begrudge people that, because, getting paid for your work is important. So my Patreon's down below. But I will say that I wanted something that I would be able to either share or sell for a very modest fee, not like a $30, $40 yellow. Oh, that's nothing. STL file. Like that wasn't what I was setting out to do. So this entire helmet is not going to be made out of tinfoil now. I am making a crude buck that I'm going to use to pull templates from. Ooh, I'm going to jam some tinfoil under there. That does not want to stay put. There we go. So I'm essentially sort of sculpting out of here, and then I'm going to pull foam patterns from this. Which was, to some degree, kind of what I planned on doing with clay. I was thinking I could do a clay sculpt, pull patterns from it, but then also see if I could maybe try my hand at making a resin cast. Which I still might do. Just because I've got all this clay. Sure would like to do something with it. There we go. Sort of work that up there. Here we go. Alright, we're gonna make another one of those rectangles. This time I'm gonna be excessive. We're gonna double this up. Go. And just kind of mash that together here. Now, I don't really need to go through and do the entire side if I'm just getting patterns from this particular version, as it were. Because all I'm going to do is going to sort of work it out. It's interesting. It kind of resembles a little bit the Tank Trooper stylistically, because it's so square and angular and bent out. Yeah, I kind of like that. I think that's where it's gonna go. Perfect. Oh god, I'm a monster. I'm a monster. Look at this thing. Jesus. I think it's gonna work though. Isn't that just the worst thing of all? Oh god. So this has a really, really intense bend to it. So I'm just trying to make sure that I've got a really square sort of seat for this thing here. Like that. Make sure that that stays put. There we go. It's so weird. Star Wars has such a particular style to it. I find myself, as I'm going through this, right, I find myself seeing virtually every Star Wars helmet in this thing as I'm building up each shape. And that's either a testament to Star Wars or a scathing indictment of Star Wars, and damn if I'm not gonna figure out which. That is not my job. Create another little ball. Cram right up under here. Yep, there we go. Oh. There we go. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I like the it. Go, and then I'm just gonna take my shears real quick and cut this right off. Don't really need it right here, so we'll get rid of it. Okay. Now, here's my next trick. We're going to take another one of those rectangles, pat it down, and we're going to sort of ring the neck. The goal here being to create sort of a baseline that is not actually person neck shape, but more so clone trooper thick, where we can try to get a head in there. Go. So we'll start wrapping this around under here. Wrap, wrap, wrap. Then we're going to take this rectangle and wrap that as well. And I'd say that's approaching neck seal thickness. And of course, if on the final build I decide to, make it thicker, I can always just make it thicker. That's what happens when I throw things at the wall to see what sticks. Sometimes you just gotta find what sticks. Take that across. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now, one thing that I notice a lot about the clone troopers in Gendy Star Wars is they're definitely posed a lot where the dome is like facing down. They're kind of looking down on people a lot. But I think in order to reflect that in the shape and the way that the fin works, I'm gonna have to actually even out the head a bit so that it's almost weighted towards the back, almost. And that is perhaps a little bit unfortunate, but I think that it's what's got to happen. There we go. Nice, even curvature. Ah. Here we go. Let's grab this right here. Push that down. Loud noise. Oh yeah, that's why I have a rubber mallet in the shop. Amazing stuff. Truly inspired the use of heavy tools. think I actually need to, because that's just the head form right there. I may still need to build out the back a little bit. Because I think this is curving in a bit. That's not really what I wanted to do. Oh my goodness. The good news is some of these shapes we're going to be building onto this form, so I don't necessarily need to get them in there right away. But some of them I think I do. And to that end, I'm thinking we can kind of cross the streams here a little bit. Find something about that round. Let's go ahead and marker this guy up. If this shape is not perfect, that is okay, because we're going to cover it to some extent at least in tin foil. So that looks pretty good. They're pretty high on the head, but that still might be too tall. Let's cut this out and see. We'll cut it out around there. Yeah, here we go. That round shape right on there. Love that. Okay. So we're going to pad up the side a little bit. And the name of animation, if it's not perfectly square, I think that's okay. Although we will get somewhere in the neighborhood of that. Yeah, who came here to learn the ultimate technique of just pounding aluminum foil with a mallet to get your head forms? Because I know that's what I definitely expected this stream to be. Oh man. Okay. Grab another little wad of tinfoil. Just going to cram that behind the ear here. Make sure everything's nice and square there. And then, I'm going to do something ever so controversial and add more aluminum foil. There we go. And that is what I was hoping it would do. To just create that nice tight ear form over which we can already start to see the shape of a 2003 clone trooper. Look at that. Wow. I'm loving that. Okay. I think the tubing around the bottom is going to need to be beefed up even more, but I can already see that angle taking shape, which is exactly what I was hoping it would do. I think this actually just needs to come out in this section right here a little bit. So I'm liking this. I like how flat this shape is, because that's really accurate for the 2003. They made their faceplate from like where it meets the brow all the way down to the bottom of the chin, just perfectly flat. Actually, I did come across a couple of 3D interpretations where they had basically added a beveled end to it, and but it looked weird. It looked like it belonged to an ARC trooper, maybe, like a Phase 2 ARC trooper, and it just didn't seem to belong. It was really weird. So I will not be doing that because I did not like it. I did not care for it. Go, tap this down, nice and even out this shape overall, because at heart we are the smith in the foam smith. Here we go. There we go. And now we're really getting somewhere with the shape. I'm actually really liking how intense some of these angles are. That's gonna serve us really well down the line. And you can already see where the cheek sort of sets in. Oh, that's so cool. I love it when a plan comes together. Okay, let's solve the problem I noted earlier, where this section, like here-ish, is just not beefed out enough to be helmet shaped, and that's my fault. I thought I had beefed it up enough, and I did not. It was not till later he realized the error of his ways. We'll probably take the mallet to this again just to try and even everything out. First, let's really tape it down. Make sure this is in the right place. If anybody has any questions about this insanity, please, of course, let me know, as always. I do try to be educational in the way I run these, even if I am just, throwing things at the wall. Whoa, what was that? Everybody okay out there? Everybody okay out there? Just chasing stuff. You want to come say hi to the people, Phil? Yeah, I'll come say hi. This is Philip, everybody, my best man. He's going to be off camera, just like I'm off camera. Because everything is off camera.
Oh, God.
No, because the camera's...
Yes.
Look, I'm making a 2003 Clone Trooper helmet.
It looks like tinfoil.
It does look like tinfoil. You would be correct. Actually, somebody already asked, wait, is this entire build going to be just tinfoil? And it's not. It's not. This build is going to be... Hello there, Melina! This build is not just going to be tinfoil. The tinfoil is just me building it up. Because I had gone to... Where did I put it? I had gone to warm up some monster clay to try and sculpt this for, like, the first time ever. But I left it in there, and this is going to take a lot longer to like, ease up than I thought. Because I was able to like scratch the surface after waiting like an hour. So instead, we're starting with just trying to make some foam patterns. I was actually showing the people I spent some time today working on this Hylian shield, and it's the Batfleck cowl over there. It's looking pretty good. Actually, would you mind passing me the cowl? I don't think I showed the cowl on stream yet because I have too many things going on. And my work is never finished. So we got this guy right here. Let's see if it comes in frame. But we get Batfleck. He's looking real rubbery because I covered him in rubber.
That would explain.
You can just set it down now. It was wet before, so it doesn't doesn't matter now. What you gonna do? But yeah, no. So there's like foam under here, more tinfoil. This is basically what this stream has been just mocking up this form because that trooper helmet rocks and is also really dumb looking. So it's hard to make. I was actually joking with them. I found some people on Etsy who have made like 3D models of it, like pretty decent ones. But a lot of them just had like one or two like artistic choices in the... No, that's nothing. Like artistic choices in the way that they're put to... I'm going to mute that, Jesus. In the way that they rendered some of the 2D elements in 3D, where I was just like, I don't know about that. Oh, thanks, Melina. Yeah, no, we're working on a video for the Batman. There's not really going to be a video for the Hylian shield. Those are just things I sell from my Etsy store, actually. I sold that one. I've got another one for sale, if anybody wants to pick one up for themselves. Actually, I've got it built, too, so if anybody wants to buy it, it'd be like a 2-day turnaround. Phil, you want a shield?
No, I think I'm good at the moment.
You think you're good?
I have the exact amount of shields that I want currently.
Now I think for the good people at home, I need to ask you, what is the correct amount of shields?
Well, it's 0
shields. It's 0 shield. Well, we can't all have shields. Oh man. It's interesting. It's been a little quiet today. There's been a lot of folks stopping in, but little light on the chat. I'm not blaming anybody, except myself. I'm too boring, is what it is.
Well, at least you know what's in food.
The me.
The everything.
Just what? How do
The
I?
entertainment value just isn't there.
Well, I think some people thought I was gonna be like cutting out foam tonight, and I think that's a totally fair assumption to make, based on the everything about this channel. You know, but instead it's like been a sculptathon, which I'm really enjoying, to be perfectly honest. This is such a specific helmet shape, but it's definitely a trooper bucket that I don't have. Oh, thank you, Daniel. Much appreciated. Daniel says it's not boring.
He's sparing your feelings.
Is he? I want you to look Daniel in the eyes. The good people of YouTube.
Deep in the windows of the soul.
You're lying to yourselves. This is a man in his tinfoil. Oh, man. Yeah, I probably only got to put another, 20 minutes on this. So after that we can get, I don't know, Taco Bell?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Taco Bell? Yeah, Miranda's off tacking with her gal pals. Recruiting for wedding stuff.
For the wedding.
Recruiting for the wedding. A very important process. I have recruited for the wedding after much badgering, so I am now ahead of her.
Yeah. Does it really count, though?
It doesn't. It does not. It will never count. Because Miranda is always right. And that is the correct godly way it should be.
Wisdom.
Wasdom. Stonks. Here we go. Try to sort of pinch this together to create that bow. It's so interesting because in a lot of ways Gendy's Star Wars laid the groundwork for the 2008 Clone Wars, not just in the sense that there are children who want to watch Star Wars, but also in the sense that the art style is very similar. If not, it's not the same, obviously. Not just because it's 2D to 3D, but also because they took some artistic liberties that I think are just very different. But in many ways, the sort of pseudo-cubist style sort of just gels with the way they both are. Mm-hmm. And so it's really fun as you're trying to go to 3D from the 2D element to sort of see the parts where it's very obvious that they were just one-to-one translations between the two. I can in this see the very hyper-stylized bow that the 2008 Clone Wars has in its Phase 1 troopers. Now, it's way more pronounced in a weird way where it's dished super far out, whereas this is it's going to end up being very triangular at the bottom. But I can see it here, which is, I think, a very fun thing. A very fun thing indeed. Oh, yeah. There is an element of this that this is somewhat, wasteful. But there's also an element of this being extremely cheap. I think in total in materials on this thing right now is maybe $4. And I will have created something that I just didn't care to do in 3D. That sounds like a hard thing. I don't want to draft this. I'd rather just, have it. I want to hold it. I'm keeping you captive here. You don't actually have to stay here, my fans.
Well, no, that's kind of interesting.
Are you now?
Against my will.
Against my better judgment.
I have become captivated by the design.
Okay, so now the real question is, can I lay this down gently without screwing it up? Here we go. You know what? Actually, we're gonna stuff this section so that I can just sort of fill the outer edge across it. I was telling them it's the irony that in many ways this is what I was going to have to do anyways, because you can't just throw... I don't have enough clay to just build this head out enough to make a helmet. I'd have to sort of start with, you know, a big wad of aluminum foil just smacked in various sections, and then I can put clay over that. But it is interesting to see, like, the ways I cut corners for doing it this way, because this is not tight enough for me to sculpt on. It's tight enough for me to make patterns from. There we go. I'm actually really excited because for those of you who don't know, what color are you going to paint the helmet? White! Checkmate. I don't know. I'm actually debating doing it as a Fordo helmet. The that one.
The red one?
The red one. I'm debating doing it as a Fordo helmet. Actually, there was an alternative. I have it in my files. There's an alternative thumbnail I made for this where instead of saying 2003 clone whatever, it says God King Fordo. Because God King Fordo. But also, you know.
Which one was the one that was like absolutely badass that like beat a super battle droid to death or something?
That's Fordo. That's Fordo.
Okay.
So Fordo appears all over the Clone Wars animated series. But one of my favorite things is that he does appear in the final like Battle of Coruscant episodes, but it's not as clear because he's got a Phase 2 armor on, but canonically that dude is also Captain Fordo.
Oh.
Yeah, no, Captain Fordo is the coolest dude in all of Star Wars canon. And I'm not ashamed to say it. Because it's true. He's so cool. Why make one when you can make three and have all the colors? Well, now there's
The man makes
I was
one.
gonna say that's not. I mean, to some degree, I have to restrain myself because I have so many different buckets to make that I have like more options to paint them. Like I can make Rex, I can make the Clone Commandos, I can make Hunter. Video out now. I'm a YouTuber. No, but
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.
yeah, it's the Pro ZD. Oh, if only there was some way I could show them my appreciation. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, oh man. No, but to some degree, I end up painting every paint job I would want to do by just doing every helmet. This has sort of become the obsession of the channel over the past couple months, is it's morphed from like just making anything to non-stop Star Wars. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm not really upset about it. I think I'd be upset if like I tried to branch out, like I made one thing that wasn't Star Wars and somebody got really up in arms about it. You know? Like, this is what it came for, you changed, sort of thing. It's like, I am not paid. Did you finish the Warhammer? I have not finished the Warhammer helmet. It is about to be sent off, though. I went through and I did some extra grinding on it, and I'm going to be doing some extra bits in the bolt-looking things. Just because I was ruminating on the fact that I've got lots of different small techniques that take almost no time that would add a bunch of detail to this. So I'm going to try and, add some more detail to it. Really just make it a fun thing for David over at Diabolical Props to paint up. Because we're going to be swapping, and he's making something for me. It's a chest plate. He's going to make it all Star Wars. So just going to have a big Warhammer Star Wars thing. Collaboration. Sometimes artistic collaboration is just like the gumption to say, and we're gonna do something artistic. You know what I mean? Like can't think too hard about it. There we go. Cram it in a ball underneath the front section here. So my plan then, in terms of the shape of this, is I really like under the front end to be very bowed inward, like actually for it to go bop 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 and then tilt up on the inside there, because I want that really sharp chin that they've got going on there. But there's such a distinctive like triangular shape to the rest of it that I've got to be really careful about how I actually construct that shape, or else I'm screwed. Well, 'cause here's the thing: if I go through all this trouble and the shape is just really, really whack, I'll be kind of sad. Oop. There it is. My bad. Okay. Have this. Ooh. Okay, here we go. Square that edge back up, but then we can just sort of start taping it down. Huh, what'd I miss? we're making a 2003 Clone Trooper helmet. It's covered in foil right now, and we're gonna go through, and we're gonna make it a real boy. That's the whole plan. You'd think that I'd have more of a plan. You'd be wrong. You'd be dead wrong. There we go. I'll tape this down. There we go. That is much more like what I was going for originally. And it's still pretty pointed towards the front, but I actually really like that. I might tap this in just a little bit. I was joking earlier that this is the Smith and Foam Smith. This is the because I actually want this to be pretty rounded over at the front, and then descend into just like perfectly flat. And it looks good from one side. From the other side, it looks like an absolute dumpster fire. But this side's working for me.
How about we just look at this side?
This side's working for me. There we go. Oh, thanks. I really appreciate that, Melina. Yeah, no, I believe very firmly that especially when you're making stuff up on your own, go to town on technique stuff where you're getting a lot of detail for not a lot of work. Because, some things are just work. They just will be. Like building up the front end of, say, Hunter's rebreather here is just kind of a pain in the butt. There's a lot of details, a lot of things to glue together, and a lot of small pieces to cut out. But then things like, I don't know, the ear cups where you're just layering parts together, but it still looks great. That's awesome. Love that. And the same's kind of true of the Warhammer, where it's like, just layering details on. It's, you're going to get a lot of bang for your time there. Maybe not your buck. A lot of technique-based things tend to cost material. Here we go. Okay, what am I missing in terms of shape? I don't think I'm missing a lot now. We've actually gotten pretty far into this. I'm gonna just kind of try to even this out a little bit more, and maybe see if I can't clarify this edge a little bit, because it's starting to round over a little bit, and I actually want it to be pretty precise. Where I need here, I'm gonna grab this. Just gonna kind of press this in right here and sort of create this, because this sort of turns from an angled piece into the flat, so there is sort of that sense of like maybe there's an undercut here that just sort of disappears and becomes a flat edge to the overall piece. But that is looking very good. I think this is actually too flat. This is almost a little too 2008 Clone Wars, or even, dare I say it, just like movie accurate, how flat this is on bottom. It should actually be angled really far down. So I might need to lay this on its side again and really build out the back part. Here we go. Lieutenant's, with the Lieutenant Cyan. Oh, the blue, yeah. Sorry, I'm a simple man. No, that's really cool. I won't lie. I thought about doing this, but also making... There's like a gunner that drops with the ARC troopers who has like a quad blaster strapped to his chest, but he's got like a two-eyed, almost Imperial look to him. And I won't lie. I thought about maybe doing a variant of these templates that's got that going for it, because it wouldn't be that hard. It would basically just be changing up the way the faceplate works. So I don't know. We'll see where we go with this. I'm really liking it. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but it's cool. It's cool. More foil, more table. There we go. This is a little closer in terms of the size of this shape, if that makes sense. Oh yeah. Okay. Tape this guy down as tight as possible, because I'm going to pound this into the overall shape. Okay, there we go. Really flatten it down, create that angled edge going around. Hey, that's looking great. Oh, that's wonderful. And then, of course, it becomes inward tapered near the front here. So we'll kind of bang that together until it's more what we want. Of course, we don't want to neglect the very back edge because we do need a very clean central line in order to pull templates. But that is much more what we're looking for. Look at that. That's way better. Yeah, I think the camera can't quite pick it up like that. So now we've got a really bayed edge down there, and then it pulls up and comes on the inside right there. And actually, when I tape it together, you can see the edge pretty well, which is the important part, frankly. Okay, let's see. Yeah, because it comes up pretty quick here. Because basically what we're going to do is we're going to take the last of this here, take one really big piece of tape, and just hold this entire edge down, because holy hell, it wants to come off. There we go. Now, just kind of tamp that down. There's a lot more mallet to this than I thought there was going to be. Yeah, no, I did make a 2008 Phase 1 helmet. It's actually it's linked in the stream from earlier this week. We did a whole Pepakura Tuesday. Every Tuesday I do streams on making templates using Pepakura. We did a whole Pepakura Tuesday about animated trooper helmets and how they're all basically the same helmet. So basically I've got templates for a Phase 1, a Phase 2 animated trooper, as well as a Rebels stormtrooper. So it's, we kind of went all over the place, but we ended up with some really cool stuff. Man, that looks tidy, is what it looks like. That looks like the shape. The only thing it's really missing is the fin on top, but I think I shouldn't model that here. I think that would be a mistake. I think that would be like a lot more effort than it would need be. Like, I'll probably just draft that from the side two-dimensionally, yeah, and just glue that on top, or make it like double thick and glue that on top. But I think this is probably just about done, which is great because it's $7.59. Tell you what, in the name of trying to make this look like something I could present to a client tomorrow. Let's add one more just like over the top layer to like smooth everything out and show you guys the shape. Ah, shiny. There we go. With that, I'm going to say we've got a really great base for a 2003 Clone Wars here. Here we go. The clone designs were only good from that thing from that movie. Oh, this is from the animation. Your point still stands. Yeah, I think that's fair. So there we go. You know, what I'll probably do is I'll probably do an initial pull of templates from this. It'll be pretty rough, but the basic shape is there. We've got the over the ear, got the ear plate itself, which I'll probably addend to this bottom swoop. This bottom swoop, if I'm good about this, I can probably attach straight to the faceplate, and then we'll do like a bucket piece, a back panel, and then we'll build up areas on the back panel, and then there'll also be one piece that sort of goes underneath, and a neck seal. But that is largely the shape we were hoping to get. And that, hang on. Sorry, just a nice rounded shape there. Really quite happy with that. Thanks so much for coming out, folks. This has been really cool. 'Cause this is not a way that I build a ton. But sometimes, you know, all you can do is roll up your sleeves and really make the thing yourself. I want to thank everybody who came out to the stream. This has been super cool. As always, if you're looking for more Star Wars content, you can check out our PEP streams or check out any of our builds. We got Rex, we got Hunter, we got a Clone Commando. And, you know, we've got more stuff coming out real soon. And if you want to get any of these templates for yourself, a lot of them are free at links down below, as well as for sale in my Etsy store. Please check that out. We got a brand new McQuarrie Vader pattern over there. So we got some concept Vader. Super fun stuff. And as always, I hope everybody had a great time, and I hope you take care.